Hello there guys, my name is Dwarf and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineer Spotlights. So many of you have asked me to look at Halo builds that have gone onto the workshop in the world of Space Engineers, and that is exactly what I'm going to do today. We're going to look at two specific authors. We're going to look at Bryce Baby and The Ghost of Pootis Past. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first build from Bryce Baby is the Pelican Dropship. This thing is beautiful and I think he's got the shape very much down to a T. It does feature 3 machine guns, 1 on the nose cone where the light is and 2 on the roof. Now this is quite good because you've got a nice spread of fire at the enemy, which I think is very useful, especially when you want to punch through enemy lines and take on bigger ships or ships of a similar caliber. You've also got these 6 wonderful rocket pods, but the only problem I have with them is you can't actually reload them from the back end and you have to manually load them, which can be a problem especially if you run out of ammo while in battle. You've also got a connector on the back which allows for the Warthog to attach to, which is nice. In the back section of this ship it contains a lot of people. You can have 8 people in the back as just passengers, so they're your soldiers, and then you have 2 seats, a high seat and a low seat. One for the pilot and then one for the co-pilot or weapons guy. Now I do think this ship is a very beautiful ship to look at, and it's very long just because it needs to carry a lot of stuff, and as you can see by the flybys that are showing now, that it looks absolutely gorgeous when it's flying through the air, and it really does make you feel like you're in Halo. And again, just being able to take control of a ship that is very similar to Halo ships, it's really good. And again, it drops and controls really nicely, and it's very hard wearing. I've bashed it around a little bit as well, and it really has done the job. So well done for that one. So the next thing that he has built is the Warthog. Now the Warthog is the thing that you've always had the most fun in the game, or in my experience I've always had the most fun in these things, going around shooting people, throwing sticky grenades at them. It's just amazing to have, just to see how much fun you can have with this thing. And it can be attached to the back of a Pelican like on the games, and can be sort of taken up into space and then dropped off where it is needed, which is really cool, and it's a really nice feature from the from the games. Now this does actually handle jumps and bumps really well, and as you can see from this, it smacks down, but the suspension just takes it all. And the only real issues you'll find is that the artificial mass blocks won't do what you would like them to do a lot of the time. It tends to be a bit floaty. The last thing I have to say about this is, in terms of that back turret, it can't swivel on its own, which is a problem for me because it's not very game-like. You'd normally have a person sitting on the back shooting the crap out of people, but other than that it's great. Okay, so next thing in this build world, we've actually got the Hornet, which is the legendary craft that you get to fly in practically every game. Now it comes with 2 Gatling cannons on the top, which really do help shoot down smaller enemies. And we've also got these 2 rocket pods that sit underneath the cockpit, which really do add to its armada. And overall this thing is just very light, and it is a Hornet, and they were built for mass production, and that is exactly what you can do with this thing. And you can just get out there and kill loads of enemies and just keep mass producing them and sending them back out, killing more people, and it's just absolutely awesome. Okay, so on the Covenant side of things, we have the Spirit Dropship, which was the Covenant's answer to the Pelican, and this thing is awesome. It has damage and carrying capacity all in one small ship, and it's absolutely brilliant, and I used to love seeing these in the game. Now it does have 4 Gatling cannons and the missile turret underneath for extra damage to keep the enemies away, and you've also got this massive carrying capacity that just seemed to squeeze everyone into this, like the side pods of the ship, which was really cool. And in terms of carrying capacity as well, this thing can actually attach things to the side of it via these landing gears that are attached, and you can actually put some you can actually put ghosts or banshees on these depending on what you want, and it's really nice idea. So overall I do enjoy this ship, and the features he's got on it are very good, but can be buggy sometimes. So the next ship we've got is the Covenant's answer to the Hornet, which is of course the Banshee. Now this ship is very lightly armed. It has 2 Gatling cannons and a rocket pod, which is slightly lighter than the Hornet, but in terms of controllability it is a lot more controllable and a lot more stable, I found. The colours really do set it off as well, with the purple and the greys. It looks really nice and very much the shape that it was in the game, and I was really impressed with how well this flew and turned. So well done for these ships, I'm really impressed. Okay, so the next build is actually a collaboration. It actually started out by a guy called B Soldier who decided to try and build the Halo Ring. Now the ring is like, it is just like a giant station that comprises of various elements and biomes within the inside face of the ring. And it was a really cool idea, and he didn't get around to finishing it. So a guy called the Ghost of Pootis Past actually asked him if he could finish it and go through and do representations of each of the biomes and parts that you would see in the story of Halo, and he said yes. So the Ghost of Pootis Past actually went through and added the rest of it in. He states that he only sort of had to do the sort of the 25-30% of the rest of the work. Most of it was finished. It was just getting these done. But the way he's done it is he's actually got, I think it's 36 or 38 of these panels that connect up via rotors, and he's then gone round in a circle and actually produced the Halo Ring, which is absolutely brilliant. And I love like wandering through all these different biomes and trying to guess, or you know, remember where they're from in the game. Now it does actually include vehicles that you probably saw in this sort of walkthrough. I would have played this at normal speed, but it would have taken me around 10 minutes to walk the complete entirety of this place, so I've just ended up running through it like a madman. So overall, the amount of effort that's gone into doing this is absolutely ridiculous. I had a bit of issue recording it because I can't render that far. I turned my render distance up to max, but I couldn't actually render that far out because this thing is just under 1,000 meters in diameter, which is completely ridiculous and awesome in scale. And he's even got like the seas and the oceans in, which is just brilliant. And I really do like these builds where people pay respect to the game that they love so much and they want to recreate this universe within another game, and that is really nice. And Space Engineers really does allow for that, which is really good and awesome. And you know, in terms of the game, Halo was one of the games that I did play as a kid when I was on, you know, Xbox 360, and I got the arcade specifically just to start playing Halo 3 with my friends, and then it sort of moved into Call of Duty and all this sort of stuff. But Halo will always be one of those ones that I'll get a little bit of inspiration from with some of the ships. And when Halo Guardians comes out, I don't actually know when it's coming out. If you guys know, please tell me, because that would be really nice for me to know. I'll probably Google it after this anyway. But it'd be nice to sort of have a chat about it and see what you guys' thoughts and feelings are about the new game coming out soon. So this is, I really am impressed with this. It's even got bridges in and walkways, and there's a few dead ends in this build, but overall it's a very challenging build, and it's nice to see people actually pushing themselves to recreate something that is so huge within, you know, a game that, you know, does admittedly struggle every now and then, but Space Engineers seem to cope with this size world, which is really cool. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video, because I've enjoyed looking at the builds, because they've really brought back my love for Halo, and you know, just being able to fly some of the ships is really cool. I may actually go ahead and try and create some of my own from Halo. You never know what I might do. So if you guys have enjoyed this video and would like to see more, then please like, favourite, and of course subscribe for more. Post any links in the comment section below to any build you want me to check out, and I will see you guys in the next episode of the Space Engineers Spotlights. Peace!